Yo, what's going on guys? Arekkz here. Welcome back to another video for Monster Hunter Rise, and Capcom have just dropped another brand new trailer. I say this every time, but yo, how do they keep making these trailers even more hype? Nintendo just had a Nintendo Direct, and during that, the latest trailer dropped, the one for this month, and you know, I said before, like, we're getting pretty close to launch now, so I sort of half expected a trailer this month, and then next month I guess we'll get the launch trailer, and this one is packed full of awesome stuff. It shows off new monsters, it shows off returning monsters, it shows off the Rampage mode, it shows off Apex mode, it even shows off new Silkbind moves to some of the weapons, so we are going to, as we always do, break it all down. I'm going to go through just the trailer for the time being. If there is some more information that releases on the official website, I will cover it tomorrow, because in the UK, it is pretty late and your boy is tired. I want to go to sleep, but I also always want to cover these as soon as they drop, so that's what we're doing. So if you guys do appreciate that, then a like would be awesome. And of course, comment down below, let me know what you guys think of this, but let's not waste any time. So first things first, the very first scene we see, of course, is a look at the new desert map. They actually show off two maps in this trailer, the desert and the volcano, but we'll get to that as we kind of step through the trailer. We then get a look at Rathalos. We have, of course, seen Rathalos in the sort of Rampage showcase, but this is technically speaking the first time he's sort of, you know, shown his face in a sort of in-combat position. Firing a little fireball in the sort of desert area. Pretty sweet. It then quickly montages a couple of monsters. We see Volcano, we see Basarios, and we see that spider monster, which we get a name for. As you'll see in a minute, it is called Rakna. But before we get any further, it is then going to jump over to the Volcano map. And first things first, we get to see this spider in action, and it looks fantastic. I love the way this behaves. It has plenty of web attacks. It also seems to have sort of baby versions of that spider that seem to sort of crawl around. I wonder if they'll behave in a similar manner to sort of, you know, how like the mini, I forgot they were called, the mini sort of Giganoxes that basically used to like cling onto you and just like suck your blood. I wonder if they'll do something similar. But anyway, regardless, we see this in action, looking incredibly cool. It's got like a spider web attack, which of course it throws out, and of course if you get hit by that, you get caught in it. It has a fire breathing attack, so the sort of web and fire breathing attack is a pretty lethal combo. We can of course also see it throws out its little sort of spider children, which appear to sort of create these you know, spider web areas in the ground, and I guess once they break free, maybe they'll go and attack you. But either way, seeing this in motion is pretty cool. We then get a look at Basarios, looking, I'm not gonna lie, looking pretty cool. Basarios has never been a hugely exciting monster to me, but seeing it back, especially with that glow, it looks fantastic. I don't remember it looking this good before, but then again, I guess the last time I probably fought it was like in the PSP games maybe, or something like that, or he's just kind of faded from memory. Regardless, he does look pretty sweet. I always remember Basarios being a little bit of a pain, but either way, he is back. As is Volcano, and honestly, I like this one. I was kind of hoping he would come back. He fits thematically the game quite well, and also he has incredibly cool armor. Definitely one of those sort of lower tier monsters, something you fight earlier on in the game, but he is pretty cool. And we also see the Hunter wearing Diablos armor, which of course confirms the return of Diablos, and we see that later on in the video. We then jump over to the desert map, which looks fantastic. The scale of this one, the way it's all spread out, this almost gives me like Zelda sort of Gerudo Valley vibes. Like, it's so open, these huge sort of like Colosseum looking fortresses and these sort of walls around. Like, I love the way that this thing looks. So if we take a quick look at the Palamutes and the Hunters right across the top, we see first things first, Hunter in Diablos gear, Diablos Palamute gear, then Volcano gear, and I'll be honest, the last two at the back are pretty hard to see at the moment, so I can't quite make them out just yet. However, it then jumps back over to the Flooded Forest map, where we get to see another brand new monster, and this is called Almudron. Now, this one, if I had to hazard a guess just based on the color scheme, I'm thinking this is probably the armor set that the Switch Axe user from the demo comes with, that sort of like robotic, mechanical like armor set. That's where I'm thinking this comes from, but this monster, I mean, it looks incredibly cool. I'm loving that sort of a Leviathan-style skeleton again, but it has some really interesting behaviors as well. We also get to see the Volcano armor there, looking pretty sweet, but the way that this monster behaves, it will basically throw around this mud, and it actually creates these large walls that you can actually climb on. So, you know, when you think about things from like a wirebug point of view, it'll actually have some interesting sort of, you know, traversal elements to this fight. They don't show too much of it, but honestly, this just looks so cool, and again, I'm just really happy to sort of see some very different style monsters in this game. You know, we've got like the regular wyverns and stuff, but seeing a lot of these sort of new Leviathan style monsters I really like, and of course also the spider. Anyway, the next scene of course cuts to the village. We of course see the training guy doing a narrator run across the roof to basically say that it's finally beginning, and this is where they transition to talk about the Rampage. And now we actually get to see Rampage in action, and it looks crazy it is pretty much what we suspected, and it is just a load of monsters that are going to rush at you, which is kind of why I said the other day, it makes sense that we have something like Wyvern Riding, because I feel like in a situation where you're fighting a ton of monsters, you're going to kind of want Wyvern Riding so you can then just like ram into them and use monsters to fight other monsters. So we sort of see here at the beginning, we see the Charge Blade user in the Spider gear, in the Arachnokodaki gear. We then see the Hammer user, and look at that hammer, it's like a flipping Stargate portal on the back of the Hunter, which again I believe is the gear from Almudron, and of course we will see that on the Palamute. We see the Mizutsune Hunter with the bow, and we of course see the Magnamalo Hunter on the far left-hand side. Then jumping forward, we can of course see that there are, Tetranodon, Basarios running together. There's loads of different sort of things. Of course, we see some familiar items that are sort of siege items like, ballistas and cannons. Those kind of items we're familiar with, but we also see brand new ones. This one here appears to be some sort of remote or proximity-based mine. They walk into it, it explodes. We then see Bisharten and Anjanath going ham on the door. So of course, it seems like as you sort of expect in these siege-style fights, you have to basically defend them through various different stages, so to speak. There's probably some sort of quest progress meter where it's like number of walls they've broken through, something like that. But honestly, this looks like chaos, but it looks like so much fun. Then jumping over to the Charge Blade user, we get a brand new Silkbind move, and this one looks hella stylish. Look at this. He begins by doing like an overhead axe swing, launches up into the sky with the Silk Bug, and then performs a Super Amped Element Discharge from the sky. This looks so cool. I love this. I love this a lot. I'm definitely going to use that. I'm probably going to miss every single time, but I don't care. It looks super cool. We of course then see there's the gong there, which of course is probably used for certain weapons or certain sort of traps. We also have the Dragonator. We can see 2 Arachnokodaki walking down here, so you can of course fight multiple monsters in that respect. Honestly, this just looks insane. It's carnage. Like, what the hell? But anyway, we then also have a new move for the Hammer. Seemingly you can charge it and hold it there and then sort of pull yourself forward into this sort of smash, which looks crazy. And of course fighting the Diablos there. And then we get confirmation that Rajang is making a return because we have Wyvern riding Rajang. I mean, this is the epitome of insanity. This is kind of what people said when Wyvern riding was first announced. They were like, imagine if you could do this on Rajang. Well, you can, and now you can Kamehameha beam a T-Rex in the face. So, yep, I'm cool with that. But then, as if you were thinking, alright, you know what, Capcom's given us quite a bit, they then drop in Apex Azeroth. So we have confirmation that Apex monsters are making a return. We don't know just yet whether it extends to all of them. We don't know whether the Apex system will be the same as it used to or whether it's just like a varied version. I imagine it will be different because, I don't imagine they're necessarily going to bring back all the stones from before. But we do, of course, know that there is going to be an Apex-style system, which, of course, then kind of is cool because, if it behaves anything like it did before, then, of course, it kind of puts more value back in those sort of weaker, lower-tier monsters because an Apex Azeroth is no doubt going to hit pretty hard and, that'd be cool. Also, if there's Apex stuff, maybe it'll lead to special gear related to that stuff. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff we have to find out, basically. Then it cuts to the last bit where we of course see the 2 twins. It turns out they come to fight with us in battle, and this is pretty cool. The way they show up, there's sort of a little spotlight there, and they have their little showcase. But one of them wielding a lance, one of them wielding a bow. So it's cool to see. But that is pretty much it. That was the trailer. So that's a lot. That is a lot. I'm very excited, and again, as mentioned, quite how they keep making these trailers cooler and cooler. I mean, it makes me incredibly excited for the launch trailer. Actually, to be honest, I kind of just want to play the game now, so Capcom, please kindly make it March 26th. Anyway, that's it for the time being. That's my reaction to the initial stuff. Again, if there's any more information that shows up overnight and whatnot, I will be sure to cover it tomorrow. But for the time being, let me know your thoughts down below, and be sure to keep it locked for plenty more Rise coverage. If you want to catch more from us at Arekkz Gaming, don't forget you can catch the guys 269, Paradise Central and Investmore streaming over on Twitch weekdays, playing a variety of games. If you guys want to jump in, tune in, watch and even join in, then make sure you check them out. The links to those are in the description box down below, and of course you can join the Discord to get involved in all of the discussions.